mynews.studio.
Today, a wildcat that once nearly disappeared now roams the Iberian Peninsula again. How did Europe manage such a dramatic turnaround?
For context, it's June 15th, 2025. A little over 20 years ago, the Iberian lynx population was down to fewer than 100. That's right, isn't it?
That's right, and it was more than just low numbers. The lynxes were stuck in two small pockets in southern Spain. Factors like habitat loss, a crash in rabbit numbers, inbreeding, hunting, and road accidents all played a part. At that point, it was actually considered the world's most endangered wildcat.
So, what changed? Was there a single breakthrough, or was it more about a lot of things happening at once?
It was definitely a combination. That's important to understand. It took serious collaboration. European Union life projects, government agencies, NGOs like WWF, scientists, and even local hunters and villagers. They didn't just focus on one angle.
Let's look at habitat restoration first. What did that actually involve on the ground?
They restored areas of Mediterranean scrub and forest, set up wildlife corridors, and built safe crossings for lynxes to move between fragmented patches. Those corridors were key. Without them, isolated groups faced even more inbreeding and risk of vanishing locally.
And their main prey, the European rabbit, was struggling too, right?
Exactly. A lot of effort went into bringing rabbit populations back up. Stable prey numbers were essential. Without enough rabbits, it didn't matter how good the habitat was.
Captive breeding was a big part of this as well. How did that process work?
They developed a strong breeding program, with over 400 lynxes bred in captivity. These animals were reintroduced not only in Spain, but also in Portugal, which helped boost genetic diversity and gave each new population a better chance.
But what about human threats, like poaching and road accidents? Were those still major issues?
In the beginning, yes, but they rolled out anti-poaching measures, made roads safer, and ran public awareness campaigns to lower those risks. Changing local attitudes was a big deal too. The lynx shifted from being seen as a pest to a point of local pride.
How did getting communities involved make a difference?
It was crucial. Villagers, schoolchildren, and landowners all took part in lynx releases and monitoring. Outreach and education helped people feel responsible. The lynx became a shared symbol for many towns.
Genetic management sometimes gets overlooked, but it's critical for small populations. What did they do on that front?
They relocated individuals between groups and managed breeding plans to keep inbreeding low. Regular genetic monitoring helped the population stay healthy and more resilient.
By last year, in 2024, the lynx population rose to more than 2,400, spread across 14 groups in Spain and Portugal. That's a major recovery.
It really is. The IUCN changed their status from endangered to vulnerable. The lynx story is now seen as a model for wildlife recovery.
But not everything's resolved. What challenges are still out there?
There are still several issues. Habitat fragmentation remains a risk, rabbit populations can crash from disease, and roadkill is always a concern. Climate change is bringing new threats into the mix as well.
So what's keeping the lynx safe going forward?
Constant genetic monitoring, ongoing habitat work, and keeping communities involved are all critical. Staying vigilant is important. If we get complacent, it could all unravel.
Why does this story matter outside of Spain and Portugal? Are these methods useful for other endangered species?
That's really the main lesson. The lynx example shows that recovery is possible if you combine science, funding, and especially local involvement. The core approach, restore habitat, manage threats, engage communities, can be applied anywhere.
So if anyone's listening and wondering whether other species can be saved, the lynx proves that it's possible. It's happened.
To sum up, collaboration across many levels, managing habitats and prey, captive breeding, reducing human threats, genetic strategies, and community involvement all work together for this recovery.
And the journey isn't finished. Conservation is always ongoing. There's no finish line, just steady progress.
Thanks for listening as we trace the Iberian lynx's path from near extinction to symbol of recovery.
Thank you for tuning in. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it now for free.